each of them, you're gonna take 17.
Oh, I said, no. Oh, this one, you're sent.
Sorted by the quarter.
I mean, see. Yeah, I think I can do that. I know. Get it, don't worry, this quickly, don't. Get it so quick. Yeah. Because I'm like. Like, it's everything, they're like, oh, yes. And it's still been on spring break, one day, 2 more. Yeah. Sent mama over the edge.
Wish the end.
No, it's just one of the people that wandered through there in the course of the, yeah.
That's right.
It's a good one. It's, okay.
There was a little scary to see that.
So you like somebody, oh, no, don't wish that on me. I spent all my time out in the lobby.
Yes.
That'd be as
So,
good as Bobby or trying to unload all 11 sea boxes in the lobby.
Do you get the end in front? Yeah. Yeah, which is not a. You need to leave.
So get this, we're gonna sell the one.
I love it.
It's not just. And he got the rest of them, they actually, as far as it can go.
That's.
It's an option, and placing that's what it'll be done. And then when he replaces that, he'll load it, you get a load of brand new further. And then he gets load that, on these out there, they will be.
And then we need to get candidates with it's not.
You know, if we're making it longer.
Still gonna get the.
He's already installed, so that's.
The two.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's an expenditure.
We're making.
Make it a lot more.
Oh, it's not right.
It's your turn, huh? Very well. Yes, sir. You see.
No, oh, it's fair start. Oh, it's in 2000. Somebody, and then I have, probably won't ever do that. Organization presented, they testify. Right. The way I paid it in July, last year, so I should have. Word. That you could pop it, that will go on. I'll make it. He said, and I guess that it was before. They didn't want forever because it was a flavor that kind of. I'll tell you. What do you have? So the way we can get that warm, the high store, maybe. No, I'm gonna go with my money back in Article in a second. Then I'll consider doing it. That's what I want. So they come.
Good morning, Dave. Good morning. How are you, sir? Doing well. Not good enough for Mark Doodle last time. No, I watched it and, yeah, we're on their way. Yeah. Got it. Guys fouled out. Spot up. Beat the girl. Yeah. Thing to the school rather, not. Yeah. No, it's really strange. You know, Martinsville won both times last year and then they get beat this year by the school that won both of them this year.
There's some. Well, and then it's fine. This is just a long here.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So good, thanks. You're also certainly correct. Yes. Yes, it's a little word. Okay. Yeah.
So I don't, maybe it's. Pretty, I was talking about it because it's still sitting next to that punch change. Working and look at it. And he grabbed it and he's a lot of. That's why I picked it. And says.
Hello. No, I haven't, but. I told him to send it to me also, so. It's late in the city, he is here somewhere, but there he goes, it's starting to looks like the same.
Morning, John.
Morning.
How you doing?
Good.
We have.
Morning, Joe.
Okay. No, it's not on YouTube, it's gonna be Zoom, which, that, okay, well, you don't need to look for it. Once you get the link, it will take you to it. All right, you bet. Bye. Hey, Mike. Sorry, a little bit of a.
You gonna be using this?
Yes, off and on.
I'm gonna move over.
Okay.
Jamie, that's what I do, you wanna sit here? Awesome. Pretty good, sir.
Yeah. Hey, Ron.
Yes. Watch the game. See, I'm watching on the TV. Yeah. They like, same thing with girls, and they just couldn't make fancy. You know, this work.
Yeah. And I got.
guess they got out. Just the way it is. And then it's like the same thing. You're selling for board, you couldn't make the shop. Yeah. You know, or even the others, their opinion. It's the other two.
Yeah, I love the thing.
Turns out. Yeah. After they got on sort of. Well, they were trying. Yeah, they were tough shape early. Oh, well, that's where it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Oh, I just hate to think I didn't make it like that. Yeah, have that for them. You know,
Yeah.
and that's what we play for, you know. I think you're gonna allow that. I didn't know, they're not seeing. Our buildings in place.
Yeah.
It's almost like those school, well, you're getting, yeah, yeah. Yeah, not a lot of turnover.
And I, first, I was so that I.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Well,
Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I'm good. Well. I muted my computer.
Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
We are, there we go. Hey there.
Here, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. Where's he at? All right,
Okay. Everything good?
There you go. Yes, sir.
All right.
We, Mr. Phillips called in sick. And I said, oh, no, you're gonna get on Zoom. And so it hasn't been set up on Zoom and I got an echo and I got all my sound turned off. I don't know why. Anyway, so if you would please stand. I have asked, Mike Burns, Victory Church, to open our meeting today.
Heavenly Father, we thank you today as the court comes together, as business is done today, that we remember that wisdom, Lord, is the most essential quality we have as leaders, whether in government or in the church or in our home. And so today, Lord, as I pray, I remind ourselves and remind us of your word that simply says in the book of James, that if any of us lack wisdom, that we can ask of God, and you'll give us wisdom. You won't berate us. You won't be mad at us for asking. The Bible says in James that you will gladly give us what we need. So I pray today over the court. I pray today for those in the gallery. I pray for those that will conduct the business of the court today. I pray for myself as a leader in the church and also leaders that are represented here of different families. That today, Lord, you would grant us not only the wisdom we need, but the guidance in making decisions. Grant us and grant them, the Commissioner's Court, discernment beyond their ability and clarity in these times that we're living in. May they promote justice, make choices today. May we all make choices today that promote justice, that help people, promote peace. May we today, Lord, lead by example. So, Father, thank you for this court. Thank you today for these men that sit here and before us, for those in the gallery that will conduct the business of the court. And we thank you today for wisdom from you. Thank you that we don't rely just on ourselves, but we trust you. Lastly, I just want to pray this prayer over our county, that you would give wisdom and direction and guidance to our law enforcement. This morning, as I got up preparing for this prayer, I just felt this in my heart to pray over our police departments and over our sheriff department and over our troopers and others that protect us in this county. We live in a day and a moment in this time, this season of unprecedented evil, but we thank you for men and women who protect us. Give them wisdom, give them discernment, give them the courage today to prosecute in their abilities what they need to do to protect us. So thank you today for loving us. Thank you for the Lord Jesus Christ, and thank you for salvation through him. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. All right, pledge to the American flag. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Thank you very much. You may have a seat. I'd like to remind everybody to silence your cell phones if you have one on you. And next we have a call to the meeting to order, and we have a quorum present, and Commissioner Phillips is joining us by Zoom today. All right, are there any general announcements? Okay. If not, were there any public comments? Susan?
No.
We fill out a form for public comments. Do you need to fill out a form?
I do need to flow.
Okay.
Unless y'all want to wait.
Why don't you go ahead and do your public comment and fill out the form and give it that way?
Sure.
You get it.
So I'm Jeffrey Whitworth. I'm Jeffrey Whitworth. I live on 1219 in Grand Saline, Texas. I'm commenting on the 3 subdivisions that are listed here in the agenda. my comment is that the public has no indication that the subdivisions have met the requirements of the county subdivision policy. I'm not saying they haven't, I'm saying we have no indication that they have. And this goes to the fact that we don't have enough information in this packet to understand if they've met these requirements. So my request is that going forward, to help the public understand if these subdivisions, I'm sure there'll be more as they come through, that we understand if they've met the requirements and how they've met the requirements. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, item number 4, discuss, consider accepting a donation from the Lions Club to the Van Zandt County Library in the amount of $500 for books, summer reading, programming, furniture for the library.
Good morning.
Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, I'm Tanya with the library.
Okay.
Jordan Schilling, our youth services librarian, she recently spoke at the Lions Club, which she usually does every year on behalf of our summer reading program that's coming up. And they generously donated $500 to us. And so I would like to ask you to consider letting me accept that and on my line item for library supplies. And what we would like to do with that is we're also trying to fill out paperwork right now to get a grant through one of the Texas Youth Library Grant Funds for $2,500. And with that, we would use that money. And if we got that, I would be back in here in front of you again to buy young adult books, which that section of our library is very underserved. We have very few books like that. And so that age group for those books is 18 to 25, which is maybe college age-ish, something like that. Anyway, so this $500 from the Lions Club hopefully would buy some kind of shelf or something to put those books on. Now, mind you, we do have maybe 20 young adult books right now, but the point is we're looking to grow that section. So whatever this money can do for us from the Lions Club, we're grateful for. So that's what we're gonna do.
Thank you, Thomas.
How many folks do you have visit the library on a weekly or monthly basis? How do you keep track of that?
We just have a scanning system that we use at the desk. We used to have a like a door counter or a people counter like system, but apparently it's not working because we found part of the box on the floor during the election and the batteries are gone out of, so I don't know what to do about that. I haven't figured that out.
So about how many you think come in weekly?
We have 75 people a day up to 110 people a day.
That's good.
I mean, it's a fair number. I'm working on my annual report right now. I could give you a better, when I get that done, I will be able to present that to you in about a month or so when it goes in to the state for our state accreditation. And we'll be really, we're fortunate for that now because when we hired Marley to replace as our circulation librarian, she has a Master of Library Science degree, which is exactly what we need to keep our state accreditation. In 2 years, they're going to require that you have that on staff as a minimum to have that state accreditation.
Who's we gonna require?
And we do have that now. And lo and behold, she loves it here and wanted to work there, so we're good. Yes, sir.
You said we're gonna require, who's we? Is it us or is it? the state?
Yes, us the county, as a county library. Everyone who uses the library and enjoys all the benefits of the library.
Brandon, I think, are you asking her who's requiring the library to have that?
Yes.
That, I don't think she understood the question.
So does the state require to have a master?
It's
of
going to be in 2 years, it's going to be one of the requirements, yes,
So it's a state mandate.
yes,
Yeah,
for
it's
us to
fine.
have this state accreditation. Now, if we don't want the state accreditation, but it gives us a lot of, information and free training and free supplies for summer reading. It affords us a lot of things and opportunities that we could not get otherwise on our budget.
Right.
At all. So it's a great plus for us.
Okay, so is the motion to accept the $500 check from the
So moved.
Lions Club?
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Motion is made and seconded. I need further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Item number 5, discuss consider recommendation from the Van Ness Fire Marshal to extend the countywide burn ban and authorize Van Ness Fire Marshal to rescind the burn ban upon improved conditions.
could we move this one down?
There's several
Judge.
in there. There's several of them on there that he's got.
Yeah, if we could move this one down to around the workshop, that he's on his way in, but he's
Okay.
not yet here.
Yes, can do that. So we will come back to that. Item number 6, discuss, consider approval of fiscal year 2026 line item transfers. Okay, this is normally part of the consent agenda. We moved it out in order to get it. Are we actually going to discuss it? Or?
No, I reviewed, as for my part, I reviewed the line item transfers related to these agenda items, and I didn't have any questions regarding those.
Okay. It has a lot to do with money we received in the sale of the auction reclaimer to the other, moving the money around to make it available to the different departments. So is there a motion to accept the line item transfers?
So moved.
Second.
I will give that one to Commissioner Barton. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. All right, we will skip
Kevin's here now.
Oh, he's here?
Just walked.
Okay. All right, then we'll go back up to item number 5, discuss, consider a recommendation from the Van Zandt Fire Marshal to extend the countywide burn ban and authorize Van Zandt Fire Marshal to rescind the burn ban upon improved conditions.
Yes, sir. So, conditions have drastically improved over the last week, so I'm not actually gonna recommend, extending the current burn ban. And just letting it expire today.
Okay,
I got to drive all 4 precincts. I talked to fire departments, fire chiefs in all 4 precincts. And, it greened up a lot faster.
Mhm.
There at the end, it wasn't a rainfall issue, it was a fuel load and vegetation issue, but I think that's heading in the right direction. We're looking really good.
okay. So there's no action needed on this item.
So we're not in the burn ban anymore.
No, sir.
Sir, name's up. All right, item number 7, discuss is a workshop. We're going to discuss the adoption of an abatement procedure for public health nuisance and threats. Okay, you're up again.
Yeah. So we talked about this, I believe, 1 or 2 commissioners reports, and there were a couple recommendations made from the last one that I had. One of them was the 2 big changes I made on this document was I really wanted to drive home the spirit of the law, which is that this is for the abatement of imminent public health threats. This isn't like because a property is an eyesore or any of that nature. It really is an imminent public threat, so I really wanted to drive that home. And then there was a recommendation from the court and the district attorney last time to make sure that I just included some language that any cost incurred to the county may include if we have specialized personnel that we have to bring in and equipment and PPE such as like a hazmat team or something. So those were the biggest changes on this one.
How often do you run into a situation where you think that it might be necessary to have additional equipment in there over the last year?
To date, we haven't had this scenario come to play. But there's been a couple that the property owner worked with us and it got resolved. I can't remember who was on the court. The court asked last time, this is basically a proactive measure. Texas government code allows us to adopt this procedure. So I just don't want to be standing in front of a property that really is an imminent public health threat and could cause diseases, injury, or death to the public and not be able to do anything about it. And that's what this procedure does. It just gives us the authority to take care of it if it is that public health threat.
Is there a procedure that you put in place for citizens to make the fire marshal office or the county aware of things that they have concerns about so that they can be reviewed?
Yes, sir. So on our website, we're revamping our website, and we're always trying to get, I've been here for a year and 2 months, and pretty much that's my entire office is new. So we're always looking at ways to, get better and things. So we're really ramping up our website. So on our website, it has where you can download the complaint form. If you have a complaint about any of these things, so this is abatement, which most people would think of as code enforcement, but code enforcement is a city term. And we're not telling people to cut their grass or they can only paint their mailbox black. None of that stuff. It's all stuff that is out of the health and safety code. And like the drug offenses are, heroin, cocaine, those all come out of the health and safety code. It's about health and safety. It's just a different section. And so, yes, if somebody wants to file a complaint or has any questions, it can go through our website right now. That answer your question, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, and then I think another concern from last time from the court, and Commissioner Curtis was the one to bring it up, was, yeah, okay, we have this now and it's not going to be abused, but what about 10 years from now? Could it be abused? And I kind of made it even more clear that this decision cannot be made by just one person. So if the fire marshal's office gets called out or sees something and we say this is a public health and safety threat, what we have to do is we have to call the commissioner of whatever precinct it's in, and we have to get the local health authority, which right now is Dr. Daly. In 10-20 years now, I don't know who it would be, but right now it'd be Dr. Daly. And then those 3 offices, the fire marshal's office, the commissioner, and Dr. Daly would go look and see, do they agree that this is a public health threat? If so, then the commissioner gets a quote together of what it would cost to properly abate that procedure, and then it goes before the commissioner's court. And then the commissioner's court has to look at it and review it and approve it and say, yes, we need to clean this thing up. And then that's when all the punitive actions come into place. So there's a lot of people involved, and I just wanted to make it as strong as possible that it couldn't be abused, and it really is just for last case scenario.
It's a legitimate concern though.
Yes, sir. Oh,
Yeah, because it's a subjective thing.
for
Like
sure.
abatement is a subjective thing. So someone that comes in from Rockwall County that's in a real nice neighborhood, moves out to the country and, moves next door to
Yes, sir. I get it.
someone that,
Somebody's got donkeys.
Yeah.
can cause your office a whole lot of trouble. I mean, just be calling you over and over and over. So it's a subjective thing.
Yes, sir.
And so, and I'm a less government type person, even though, as our county grows, we'll end up having to have more.
Yeah, it was a great point. So that's why I tried to read this with new eyes when I took it back to the office and looked at it from, I'm not the current fire marshal. I'm just a citizen. And yes, that's why I put so many different steps in place. And with especially when you involve the local health authority, a doctor, they don't really have a dog in the fight other than, is this going to make people sick and possibly cause injury or death? That's kind of the question that the doctor's looking at it from. So, nothing in government is perfect, but I did my best to get it there. I know Commissioner Williams works a lot on the document. I know everybody looked at it, so.
Can you give a for instance on when this would be used?
Yes, sir. So, one instance that it probably, the time it might have been used here had not the property owner complied with something. See, this property owner had three properties and this is an older neighborhood, so the houses are on 1/4 acre lots. So they're pretty close to each other in those neighborhoods. It's basically what a neighborhood. So it's not out in the country. And this particular person, he owns his own trash company. So it goes and picks up residential trash. But the problem was that he was picking up this residential trash in a huge trailer, open top gate trailer, collecting all this household trash from other people and bringing it back to his property in a neighborhood. That is going to bring rodents and insect carrying varmin and insects to that area from other people's household trash. And then therefore affect that neighborhood. Again, and this isn't out in the country where they're on 1 acre lots. No, this is when you drive this area, it is a neighborhood. The houses are, 20 feet, 25 feet away from each other. With children and families and elderly and all that kind of stuff. So had the property owner not complied and gotten that thing dealt with within the timeframes of this, because there are timeframes that have to go on in this. Had that particular property owner not done the things that I was asking him to do, this would have been a scenario that we would have to have done.
Okay.
And then the hazmat team, if you've had someone that, some of the things I've seen before in other areas is, someone is suffering from mental illness and they became a hoarder and they didn't leave their house for 40 years. And you go in there and there's jars full of urine and animals. There's about 40 animals in there and the house hasn't been cleaned in 60, 70 years. That becomes a hazardous material issue and people without proper training can't really go in there and clean that stuff out.
I've seen that.
And this is a workshop, correct, Your Honor?
Yes.
So
Yes.
if other folks had comments or questions, I guess you'd be open to answering those?
Oh, no, that's why I wanted the workshop. I want citizens to, what are your concerns with this? How would that work? I definitely, I'm still 1 year and 2 months into my tenure as fire marshal, so I'm still very much in the educational phase of what I'm always trying to educate people. That's always the first course of action that I try to take. So yes, I would love to answer any questions or clarify anything or take any comments or anything like that. Because this is a living document, we have this, and if it was adopted today, and in a month from now, it's like we read something and hey, I'd really like to tweak this part, we can bring it back to Commissioner's Court and tweak it.
So are there any people here that have questions related to the abatement?
I did
Yes, sir.
drug use meth, suspected meth facility.
Yes, sir.
Would that fall under this?
It could, yes, sir, yes, sir. But there's usually, if it's actually a place where they're manufacturing methamphetamine, that's gonna be handled by the sheriff's department. And there's probably already coordination with a hazmat team to remove the meth making materials.
So that'd be more of a sheriff's
It could be,
jurisdiction as opposed to fire marshal, would you work in conjunction?
we could work together, it's just, however the sheriff sees fit, that's usually gonna be an investigation that's been ongoing for a little bit. Yeah, in that particular case, if it's one that they're actively producing, manufacturing, all that kind of good stuff, that's usually gonna be coordinated through, DEA, sheriff's office, and they're already gonna have a hazmat team ready to go in and move all that stuff, but the cleanup afterwards could be a part of this. Because if that property becomes abandoned, they're not gonna decontaminate the entire house, they're just gonna remove the methane material. So that is a great point, this could be an area, hey, the law enforcement aspect of it is complete, now we've got to decontaminate that house and that property. which is very valid.
I could see that that could be a good tool in his toolbox to have this in place.
Yes, sir. And I don't ever want to have to use this. I hope,
Understand.
I hope this never happens. But what I didn't want to happen is I'm standing in front of said property and there's nothing that we as a county can do other than issue citations and ask them to please clean it up.
So as it relates to the cleanup afterward, the total amount of cost associated with that could be placed as a lien against that property, so the county wouldn't be, having to expense, or budget $75,000 a year for cleanup. But we would actually have the opportunity to place a lien against that property that the attorneys would then collect.
Yes, sir. That's one of the biggest parts of this procedure is that when the commissioner that's in charge of that project, once it's been all approved and the county incurs that cost, the citizens of Van Zandt County basically paid to get that property cleaned up. How is the county, the citizens going to be reimbursed? And yes, they are going to be reimbursed by placing a lien against said property going through the channels of the district attorney's office.
Okay, any more comments or questions? If not, we'll close the workshop at 9:28 and we will move back into our regular meeting with item number 8. Discuss, consider adoption of an abatement procedure for public health nuisances and threats. So is there a motion to approve the order adopting this abatement procedure?
I'd make the motion to adopt the abatement procedure for public health nuisance and threats.
All right, motion has been made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Barton. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 9. Discuss, consider the approval of the Lord's Bend subdivision plat located on Van Zandt County Road 1810, Van Zandt County Road 1815 in precinct 1.
I think I want to table it. I haven't seen the Mylars yet on this. And on the notes here, it said that the city has not given them a straight answer about being there in their ETJ. And I thought that Grants Lane.
Okay.
It's right outside the city limits of north side of Grants Lane. I've walked the property and saw the plat and everything, but I haven't been able to communicate with Keegan this week, and so anyway.
So there's a motion to table it. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes to table. Item number 10, discuss, consider approval of the Southern Hills Home Edition subdivision plat located in Van Zandt County Road 3211 in precinct 3.
Yes, Judge, this is one of mine, and I'm kind of the same way as Mitch on the item 10 and 11. I haven't been able to communicate with Keegan because of her being on vacation this week, and I'm not real sure that everything is 100% in line. So I would be more comfortable tabling these till I could get with her.
Okay, both of them?
Yes, sir.
Item 10 and 11. All right.
Yes, sir.
There's a motion. Commissioner Phillips is motioning to table item 10 and 11. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign.
Thank you.
Motion passes to table those. Item number 12, discuss, consider compliance with completing the cybersecurity training for Government Code Chapter 2054.5191. Training to be completed by all county personnel with an email address using the course from KnowBefore. There's no additional cost for this training as it is included in the current budget. This is for training requirement.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. For those that don't know me, I'm Jessica DeVille, the HR Director. And this is something we have to do every year. Last year, we switched to using No before. IT did some research and found that this one was more beneficial for us because now we have added that every new employee that comes in, when they get an email address added to them, they automatically get a training course before the required one comes out that we have to do every year. You don't like your bank account to get hacked. We don't want our systems up here to get hacked. So it's very important. We have to follow these rules. The goal is we start reporting June 1st to the state. So on Monday, employees should start seeing their training come in on their emails. It takes an average of about 15 minutes for them to complete. And on the 31st of May, we will have that cut off so that on the 1st, I can complete the reporting. And it's very important that we get it completed because it can affect different grants and all kinds of different things that are available to us. So I work directly with the IT department. They provide me the list of employees that show completion and not completion. Then we reach out to the elected officials, department heads, and employees individually to ensure that they have time to get this completed. And we just like to bring it to the court because it is something that's very important. And just to be transparent to let everyone know that we are following the guidelines we're supposed to follow.
Okay.
Any
Is
questions?
cybersecurity required by the state?
Yes, it is.
It's a statute that
The
the
code requires us to do it annually, and we have to have it completed by a certain deadline every year.
and so basically what you're saying is that everybody who has an email address is required by state law to complete the training annually.
Yes, even if they, which is not common, but maybe we have a reserve that's involved in certain things and they have been approved to have an email address, they are required to do that training as well.
So everybody who has an email address has to
Email
complete
address.
this.
Correct.
And is there a timeline, a deadline for when that has to be completed?
The DIR opens up June 1st for us to submit.
So we have to have it in by
So
May
we-
31st?
We have a grace period of entering it, but we're gonna cut it off the 31st. That's, as for Zandt County, that's gonna be our deadline. So on the 1st, we're able to get it done so that we're ready to move on. It starts budget time. We're getting ready for insurance enrollments and all the other things. So, you know, it's a busy, summertime gets to be a busy time of year for the county. So we need to get this done, taken care of, get our employees trained and ready to move on forward.
I'll motion to approve.
I don't know that we need to,
Oh, we don't.
no, it's just information.
It's just information only, just for transparency.
And then I rescind my motion.
Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
All right, item number 13, discuss, consider authorizing county judge to sign the prorated tobacco settlement distribution expense statement for calendar year 2025. That would be you, Ben.
This is the reimbursement for healthcare costs for for inmates. We've gotten this every year. And we're looking at over $500,000 in jail expenses, and inmate healthcare is about almost $200,000. And this is a reimbursement for those expenses. So we're asking to
So what
function of
we provide them with what our total expense cost was for the jail,
yes,
for medical, for our expense cost for our indigent healthcare. Okay, and then that is used in a formula to determine how much of the settlement we will get.
That's
We
correct.
are not getting reimbursed for $500,000. It's much less than that. So,
And it's a state mandate that we pay for the inmates' health care and everything else.
that is correct.
We don't have a choice.
Okay. So is there a motion to the county judge sign prorated tobacco settlement distribution expense statement for calendar year 2025?
I'll motion that one.
Okay. For a second? Bobby?
I'll second it.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, motion is made, second, all those in favor say aye. Pose like sign, motion passes. Item number 14, just like we moved this commission court meeting to Friday to accommodate a schedule, like to talk about moving the Wednesday, April the 8th Commissioner Court meeting into Tuesday, April the 7th.
For a while.
I will be at a conference on Wednesday. Or y'all can meet without, whichever way you'd like to do it.
Cliff's looking at his schedule.
I'm good with the 7th.
All right, so is there a motion?
I'll motion.
All right, Commissioner Barton, motion that
Second.
we move, Commissioner Mitch Curtis.
Outstanding.
All those in favor, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Item 15, consent agenda. Consent agenda items considered routine by the Commissioners Court will be enacted in one motion. There are no separate discussion on these items unless the county judge or commissioner requests an item be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Is there any items that need to be removed or considered separately? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion.
There we
Yep.
go.
And I'll second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Any further, no, it's no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. All right. Item number 16, we will now exit our regular meeting to go into a closed executive session in compliance with section 551.0725 of the Texas Government Code to conduct a closed meeting to deliberate business and financial issues related to a contract being negotiated. So, thank you for your time. We will need you to exit the courtroom and we will reconvene when we have concluded.
Thank you. What about?